Alright, so far here's a little update of what I've been doing. I got a light out for one, so it's not that bright in here now. I changed the brake booster, master cylinder, put on a new Carter one barrel. I changed all these vacuum lines. I put brand new lines, rubber hoses. There's a few more I have to do. New battery, you guys already knew that. Fuel pump, forgot that. I have to change the lines going to the tank. I'm gonna put a brand new tank, but this is just temporary. Here's another new thing I got here. This is probably the last big thing I'm buying this year. New bumper. It's got oily grease all over it, so that's why it's not shiny. But once I take it all off, it'll look nice, brand new. I guess they just put that on there so it doesn't rust. But it's chrome on both sides. I thought it would be just bare metal on the one side, but they actually chrome both sides. Guess that makes sense. That's the other bumper there. So if you take a look at the bumpers, let's compare them, see if they're actually the same. It's the same bumper. It's got this pronounced ridge on the front, a little hole in the front for the plate, two holes, kind of pronounced ridge runs around, kind of tapered right there. Let's compare the two. Looks like it's it. Yeah, it's bang on. There's your pronounced ridge. Two holes right there for the bracket. Hole in the middle. Yeah, it's the same bumper. That'll be nice. I'm glad to have that. Another thing I ordered, it should be here soon, I don't know, another week or so, is these hubs. These ones, I open up, they don't really turn that well, so a little sticky. I ordered these ones, they're called Worn. I thought that'd be nice to dress it up, so they weren't that bad either. They were only $70, so I got that I have to change still yet. A couple more things I gotta do before I get this thing safety is brakes. Bought a bender, pads for the back, new calipers for the front. Problem is, you start doing this and then you run into little things and you say to yourself, oh fuck, excuse my French, one more. Then I end up getting brake lines for the front. I got left and right for that to go to the I think it's just before the proportional valve. And that's it. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm running out of time, and obviously money's an issue too. Stuff's not cheap, so that's it. I'm gonna change the brakes on this truck, front and back, the discs, and the rear drums. Also have the rear drum kit, all that jazz. Got new rotors for the front. Now apparently these are a real pain in the ass to do. I've never done them before, so I don't really know too much about them. I did research a little bit. You got to take this is where we go back to the hub. I started researching that and taking it apart, and I realized, hey, it's probably a good idea to change that. Never is. So I'm going to take the hub off, and then to take the hub off, there's a snap ring in there, and then that inner snap ring and an outer snap ring, and then you pull the locking hub assembly out, and then inside that there's I forget the name of it. It's like it has like a, oh, I'm lost for words. It's just a fastener. There's two fasteners in there, a locking fastener, and then there's like a washer that goes in between with little holes, and then and they kind of, it's a lock washer. That's what they call it. Fuck, I can't think straight. So two of those, and then you pull those out, and then the hub is bolted to the backside. So then that hub will come off. What else do we need? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm not a professional at this stuff. I'm just a do-it-yourselfer, and just take it slow and just, I don't know. I'm a strong believer in, if you want something done right and less expensive, do it yourself. Because even though you can take it to a mechanic that knows everything, and they know a hell of a lot more than myself because they've been down these roads, they're going to charge you. So, and they don't necessarily do it right. They'll just get you in and out of there as fast as they can. Most mechanics, I shouldn't say all. They just want to get their money, and they don't care if they don't wipe things down as they're sealing things up. They just throw it back together and get you out of there. They don't care. If your vehicle breaks down again, they'll get you back in and get some more money off you. So, yeah. So anything I can actually fix on my own. On these older trucks is actually pretty easy. Newer vehicles is a different story. There's a lot of computers stuff, so that's why I kind of like these old trucks. You can literally sit in the engine bay on a hot sunny day and turn a wrench, take things apart. So that's about it. I think my next thing I want to do, well, after I get all the brakes and everything done, is, I don't know if you can see it or not, but probably only a bit of it there. The steering rack shaft down to the rag joint there. I want to clean all that up. Same color I painted the brake booster. I also took apart that. Let me show you this. I don't know if you can see it or not. Probably can't. Well, yeah, you can a little bit. Down there, that was all rusted really bad. Not rusted through, but just rusted the exterior of it. So I put it in this solution called Metal Rescue. I took all those parts apart and soaked it for 3 days, and then primed and painted it. And that's what I came up with. So it looks pretty good. I greased all the well, you can't see it from here, but there's a little like assembly. What do you call it? Just some kind of like arm. It's on a pivot point, and it goes into the brake. So I greased all those little fittings and stuff and put it back together. So that's pretty much it. Can only do so much, but I would like to change that rad, put a bigger rad in it. It looks green and looks like it's seen better days. So, carburetors. Let's go back on the carburetor for a sec. Carburetor, I don't know too much about carburetors, but I actually learned quite a bit about this one in such a short time. This is a Carter YFA 7389S. They make many different styles of this. This one has just a electric choke, and then there's a little heat assembly that attaches to that and allows it to heat up and move the coil inside. So I found that kind of interesting, how it works. Then you got your gas line in here. You got your air out. It's kind of like a vent tube. And you got these other miscellaneous ones. These are for extra add-on stuff, I believe. I'm not really sure. These are just extra places for a vacuum if you have to attach it. But everything's all attached properly, so these are not needed. There's an adjustment screw under here. That's for your air idle mixture. And you also have the 2 screws on the back side here. One of them is for your fast idle, and the other one is for your curb idle. And I was a little bit confused about that and wasn't sure how that really worked until I started researching it. And so basically, what you do is you go to your valve cover, and on the valve cover, it'll show a fast idle at 1600, I believe 1500 RPMs, and then it has a curb idle of 700, and then it tells you if you have an AC unit, it should be running at that. If you don't, it should be running at that. So that's how you set it. You set the curb idle with the 1 screw, and then there's another screw you set for the fast idle. You can only set fast idle when you first start it up because your choke's moving, and once your choke's heated up, that's it. You can't adjust it. But the first thing I would recommend is I hooked a vacuum gauge up, and you got to get the idle air mixture correct. So first get your curb idle adjusted somewhat around where it should be, then start it up, and then hook a tack up, and then adjust your idle air mixture screw using a vacuum gauge. You want to back it off until you get the maximum pressure from off the manifold, and then turn it in until it starts to kind of act funny, and then back it out, and then you adjust that. You adjust your curb idle after that, so you get the right RPMs, because you don't want it running too fast, and you don't want it running too slow either, because if it runs too slow, then too slow and too rich, you're going to foul your plugs up, and then you're going to be changing your plugs. I've already ran into that issue. So I think that's everything I've said here is correct. If I'm wrong about anything, please feel free to help me, because I'm trying to learn just like everybody else. So that's about it. I don't know what else to ramble on about. Hope you enjoy the videos, and try to find another one. If you guys have any suggestions of videos, something you'd like to see done, comment below, and I will get to it for sure. Okay, thanks, and I hope you have a great day.